What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over different types of backgrounds in the aquarium trade and a secret one that I use that no one else has used before, and I can share that with you guys. So the first background that most people use are these plastic ones. They usually have vines or rocks or leaves on them. They're all fake. These ones are, they're kind of whatever. Most people probably have had them once or twice before. You kind of upgrade after a while. You realize that, it's not really what you want. You would rather have more realistic or a solid color. So most people then probably use spray paint. This is an orange can. I don't know why it's orange. It was the only one I had around to show, but it's spray paint. Now people will spray paint the back of their aquariums. I have an interesting take on that. I don't think it's necessarily always the best idea, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But the secret one that I use is this stuff. Now this is weed prevention, the fabric that you put down in your gardens. I use this for all of my aquariums. See, right now with the 220 it's on. And there are some pros and cons with it, which I'm about to go into. So let's dive into the pros and cons. All right, now let's go over the different types of pros and cons to the fabric, right? The biggest con right off the bat will be that it is the most expensive, most likely depending on the size of your aquarium. If you have a small tank, you could probably get some small fabric and probably be fine. But if you have a large tank like the 220 right here, I needed a large size of the fabric. So that's about a 4-foot fabric to fit the length of this tank. Now, what is nice is that you can cut the fabric to dimensions. So if you have a large one like I do for my 220, I was able to use it on my 75 or even for the Bowfront goldfish tank that I showed you guys in another video. Another pro is that you don't have to glue it or it doesn't get adhesed to your tank. I just simply tape it, right? That's just some Scotch tape, some packing tape. You know, you could use electrical tape. It would look nice on the trim of the black aquariums. That's all you need to do. It's not super fancy. And I really like that because it's simplistic and that's how the hobby should be. It shouldn't be these crazy techniques. Now, one of the cons is that because it is not stuck, it's not stuck to the back of the tank, water can drip down and you can have watermarks. If I zoom into here, you can see there are some water stains and some stuff on the back of the aquarium and the front. I do need to clean the front, but on the back of the aquarium that you can see. And yes, you can see the tape down there. There is some, and yes, it sometimes does stick off and you can see back there. I do have to reattach that back there and tape it back up. But to me, I don't really mind it because when you're standing at the tank, you guys can see it because you're a little lower than me. But if you're my eye level, that's what I see. So I don't even see it. So it doesn't bother me. And people don't even know, right? I've had people ask what type of background I use, and I simply tell them I just use this. Now it can fall apart, right? Like, let's quickly go over the goldfish tank right here. Yeah, that stinks. I got to tape that back up. So it can be annoying, if you tape it well and it'll hold. Another trick you can use is you can use the filtration, the return or exit pumps to your canisters if you have them. It can hold them. It's a nice place to hold it down and make it tighter, but it doesn't always work. Do I recommend this? Yeah, I would definitely do this. I think for the price of it, yes, it can vary, but for the simplicity and for the fact that you can use it for other things, you're not buying it just once and using it only for that. Most people aren't going to, most people go out and buy spray paint, but they're not going to use it for multiple things. They might just use it for their aquariums. This is nice because it's easy to change, relatively inexpensive depending on your size of your tank. You can use it for multiple tanks, which is nice. A can of spray paint for a tank like this, I'd probably have to use a few cans to get a nice coat. This, I can buy a nice roll of the fabric and it works. So that's my opinion. So that's just a little secret that I've learned through the aquarium trade just on my own. Like I said, I think this is an original idea. I could be totally wrong. If someone else has done it before me, which they probably have, good for them for discovering it. But I learned it on my own. So I just want to share it with you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Is this a stupid idea? Should I just get the spray paint and make it all black background? Should I use something else? Or does anyone have a nice secret that they know and maybe they want to share? I think that'd be really cool to know. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.